I was just thinking to myself, it's amazing when I come up against situations and they seem quite big, I tend to find myself looking at the actual situation and just reading about Jesus feeding the 5,000. It must have been the same, the disciples, probably just like me. They looked at all these people, and I was just thinking to myself, seeing 5,000 people, how would I have felt? What would I have said? Probably the same as what the disciples said. And when Jesus asked that question, you feed them, or he spoke to them and said, you feed them, they must have looked at him, gone out and thinking, feed them with what? How are we going to feed them? And then I think it's what I get uplifted by is the fact that those words that Jesus spoke, bring to me what you've got. And I find myself sort of getting uplifted with the same thing in my life. That's what Jesus is saying to me, bring to me what you've got, give your situation to me. It's great when you read that they gave it to Jesus, and they must have thought, well, even this amount, 5 loaves and 2 fishes, is not enough to feed 5 people, let alone 5,000. But he said, no, bring it to me. And then he got them to sit down in small groups. He said, get them to sit down in small numbers, 50s, 10s, whatever. And then he sat down, looked up to God, the source of everything. And then the food multiplied, and it was enough to feed everybody. And I find it amazing. It uplifts me because he's saying the same thing to me. And that's what I find encouraging. Whatever situation I'm in, it might seem overwhelming to me. When I look at the whole situation, sometimes it feels really, really big, but Jesus, I think, is saying the same thing to me. Bring to me what you've got. Give me your situation, and I'll show you what I can do with it. That's what I find amazing. I do get overwhelmed at times, and I find situations, I don't know, I just find myself as I'm weighed under with them because I think too much, I think of all what if, what can be, what might be, what not, what it isn't, instead of just doing what Jesus says. Bring it to me. Bring the situation to me, give it to me. But I find myself sitting there trying to figure it all out myself. Even when I pray, I still find myself praying, but sometimes worrying about it. And I think, what am I doing? What am I doing? And I find it so encouraging when, I look at the whole story as a whole. And Jesus, after he'd fed them, it said that there was enough food left over to fill 12 baskets. And that's the thing about this story. No matter what it is, bring it to Jesus, and he'll show you what he can do with it. Because he can always do far more with what you give him than you can. Isn't that amazing? Oh well.